All right. Hey, everybody. It's Spring Bee here. I'm here with Lea Newman. Lea is one of our featured presenters, speakers, coaches that is coming to Ignite at the end of October. And I have to tell you guys, I am so freaking excited. I was just telling her before we logged in, I'm like, I am so excited about this conversation. And that you're coming to Ignite and to share with us, because I think that this is so needed, so necessary, and yet so, I don't want to say taboo, right? Yeah.
But in our culture, it is, unfortunately.
Yes. So first of all, welcome. Thank you for joining us. I'm so grateful. Yes. So Lea, let's dive into this. So I have put you out on social media and I'm like, yes, we're even going to go there, the Erotic Blueprint. And so first of all, will you tell me what an erotic blueprint means?
Absolutely. So the erotic blueprints are a typing system similar to the love languages, if you've ever heard about those.
Yes.
Similar to that, except for how do you come to pleasure and passion? And they were created by Jaya Ma, and there's 5 of them. And this information for me in my life has been absolutely transformational. And I use it in so many different capacities across my coaching. So the 5 blueprints are, the first one is energetic. And I'll just give you some examples to maybe help you feel into which blueprints you might be. Okay. So the energetic blueprint loves spaciousness, tease, and anticipation. So I'll give an example of an energetic kiss. So if this is my lover, I might come in for a kiss really slowly. Or it might be the kind of kiss that lingers and pulls away slowly.
Okay.
Energetic touch can be off the body. Like if you just do this with me right now, you hover your hand just over your wrist, you might notice that you can actually feel the presence of this hand over there on your wrist, and just lower it. And you might find more pleasure or titillation as you come closer. The other thing could be pulling it away, could bring the pleasure and anticipation and tease. The other type of energetic touch is like this kind of tickly kind of touch, really light tickly touch. Okay. So as I said, it's tease and anticipation that turns on the energetic. And their superpowers are they can receive pleasure and even orgasm without any touch whatsoever.
I think I've seen Jaya do that on stage, right?
Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. Yes. So they can receive pleasure without any touch at all. Some of their shadows can be that they can sometimes get overwhelmed if touch comes too quickly. Like if their partner just kind of goes in for the kill, goes in for groping or touching, what have you, they can get overwhelmed and they kind of disassociate out of their body.
Okay.
So that's the energetic blueprint. The second blueprint is the sensual blueprint. Think candlelight, berry white, soft pillows, blankets. I'm of course going to an extreme of a stereotype, but they are ignited by all of the senses.
Okay.
A sensual kiss are those yummy, delicious, lingering kisses that go forever.
Yeah. Okay.
Sensual touch is like that contouring, long strokes on the body type of touch.
Yeah. Okay.
So their superpowers are they can be turned on by everything. They have a huge capacity for pleasure. Some of their shadow is that they can sometimes get in their head. Like these are the people that are in the middle of making out with their partner and they're thinking about the undies on the floor. They're worried about the kids coming in the room. They're thinking about stuff at work, right?
Okay.
They can kind of get in their head.
Okay.
The third blueprint is the sexual blueprint. And honestly, it's what we think of as sex in this country, right? They get turned on by nudity. They want to see boobs and butts and genitals, right? They're turned on by getting to the deed.
Okay.
A sexual kiss is a very penetrating type of kiss.
Okay.
Be really hot, right? Mm-hmm. Sexual touch is, touching the genitals.
Okay.
The breasts. Those kinds of things, right? And what's great about them is they can go 0 to 60. Their turn on comes just like that. and they're in it, which is awesome. The downside is they can miss out on the journey. The pleasure and joy of foreplay and allowing the slow rise, right? They can miss out on that journey.
Yep.
The fourth blueprint is the kinky blueprint. And usually when I say that, people automatically think of BDSM. And it's definitely that, or it can be that, I should say. But really, the kinky blueprint is all about what's taboo for you. So for example, if you're somebody that has only ever had sex missionary with the lights off, putting a candle in the room could be very taboo for you.
Right. Yeah.
Trying a different position could be very taboo for you. It's all about what's taboo and edgy for you.
Right.
And what's great about kinky blueprints is they are often, when they're empowered, they're often really great at communicating their deep needs, wants, and desires. They have a great vocabulary. They have a great imagination and creativity for what can happen in the bedroom.
Interesting.
The downside, the shadow side, is that sometimes they can have some shame around their needs, wants, and desires.
Interesting.
They can sometimes have some shame around fetishes, or fetish can happen, which kind of gets them stuck in a rut of a pathway to pleasure. That makes sense?
Yeah. Is there another one? Yes.
There is. There's one more. And the last one is the shapeshifter. And this is the person that needs, wants, and desires all of the ones I've already mentioned. And it could be in a specific order. It could also be all of them at the same time.
Yeah.
What's great, again, ginormous capacity for pleasure. They can find turn on and pleasure in just about anything, which is awesome. The downside is they can sometimes be people pleasers. Because they can find pleasure, and this is actually my story, because they can find pleasure in all of them, if their partner is mainly one, they tend to go where their partner wants to go instead of asking for what they actually need and want.
Interesting.
And so then it can be unfulfilling.
So let me ask you this. We talked like for 2 minutes before we popped on here. And I said, man, I'm so excited for this conversation. So it's interesting. It feels a little taboo. Like you're the one person we've been like, how do we really market this? We're saying, hey, your erotic blueprint. And you said, yes, this is just so crazy. Why don't you talk about this of like, this is how we were all made. Like, why is it such a taboo? So maybe hit on that of like what you're seeing even in women. We were talking about the audience of who's going to be there, of just who I know is going to be there. Yeah. And you're like, I don't know why it's just so taboo. So maybe talk about society and this and all.
Right. Well, societally, we kind of frown upon this subject and talking about it openly. And I kind of think it's funny because we all do it. We're all here because somebody had sex.
It's true.
Right?
Yes.
And we all engage in it. And so why is it taboo? It's really unfortunate that that we find so much resistance to this. And I think it's especially applicable to women. I mean, it's across society at large, but there's this stereotype that as women we're not supposed to actually enjoy sex. Because if we do, we're a slut. We're shamed, and there's name calling that happens, and it's really, really sad. Meanwhile, men are playboys and lady killers and that kind of thing. And God forbid we actually enjoy it.
Yeah.
But it's what our partners want from us. They want us to enjoy it, but we're shamed into not actually enjoying it. It's just this crazy making cycle. And so I am on a mission to help women reclaim that in their lives, reclaim that for themselves so they actually have fulfilling sex.
Yes.
To help them reclaim it so their relationships are stronger. But also, I talk a lot about reclaiming it in your whole life.
Yes.
Reclaiming pleasure. Like, we were not built to be robots, to keep our head down, do the work, go get on a treadmill, go to work, come home, cook dinner, and go to bed. That's not living.
Yeah, I agree.
It's
so
built for pleasure in all the different senses. Yes, sexually, but also in so many other ways too. And let's do let's create the space for that, you know?
Yes. Yeah, I'm so excited you're coming to Ignite. For those of you that are watching, I see we have quite a few people live. Like, can you just feel her energy? Can you feel like how passionate she is about this and the excitement? So what is it? So somebody who works with you or coming to Ignite, for example, like what can they expect? Because I look at it. So I had a friend who went to Tony Robbins' Date with Destiny. I think Jaya's there, right? And not Date with, I'm sorry, like the relationship. So I did take the test. Like this was probably a year ago. And then I obviously after that, I was like Googling. So I watched Sex, Love, and Goop, right?
Yay, it's so good.
I did watch Sex, Love, and Goop. And I was like, okay, I get this. So everything you said. But I'm curious, like, what could somebody expect if they're going to come to Ignite? Because I would be like, okay, well, how does she work with you? Like, what do you do to help people get back that passion, not just in their sexual life, but in their lives?
Yeah, so many ways. First, we're going to have some experiential exercises to not only just take the quiz and have you like kind of have a conceptual idea of what blueprint you might be, but I'm going to take you through some exercises so you can put it in the body and see how the body actually responds. Don't worry, it'll be PG. It's okay. It'll be PG. But we're going to put it in the body so that you get a felt sense of what your blueprint might be.
Okay.
And then from there, we're going to look at all the different ways that this blueprint shows up in your life, both inside and outside the bedroom, and help you learn some new ways on how you can apply it in life, in business, in the bedroom. Like I believe in practical application. Like I love that we have all these modalities and frameworks and things like that to like help us understand ourselves, but they're only as good as your ability to apply the information in your life. If you can't actually use it, it's just a concept.
Yep.
Yippty skippty. Who cares?
Yeah. Well, exactly. Like I took the test and then I was like, what the hell do I do with this? Like, you know,
that's
like
what I'm going to show you at Ignite.
Yeah. I mean, it was cool. And it was actually right on. It was spot on. I was like, oh shit, this is right. You know?
Can I ask what your blueprint is?
Well, okay. So tell me what this means. Yes. And I was curious. I was equally of two, which was not probably, I don't know if good or bad, but I was energetic and I was also a shapeshifter.
Yay. Oh, so fun. So we're going to put it, so that's where the exercises for the workshop are going to come into play. So we're going to actually put it into the body. The quiz, you know, look, it's a 10-minute quiz. Let's be real. Okay. It's a Cosmo quiz, if you will. So we take those results and then we start putting it into the body. We start playing and experimenting so that we know what's real for you.
Yeah.
And you may very well be you're probably a shapeshifter with really high energetic.
Yeah.
That you like to lead with energetic.
Yeah, I think too. I mean, you and I were talking again 2 minutes before this. And we were talking about our audience of who is coming. Like everybody who's purchased a ticket so far is somebody who is just doing really well in life. They're having fun. They're playing full out. And oftentimes this component of it gets lost when you are that woman, right? Because your masculine energy is there. And so then it's like in the bedroom, you want to be like, all right, I don't want to be the leader per what you were saying. Right.
Yep.
So maybe hit on that a little bit, because I think that's where this could really come into play for our audience that's coming.
If I can self-reference for a moment, I will just share a little bit of my story and how I came to all of this.
Yeah.
You know, I was a major in the United States Air Force, and you know, by all accounts, I was living the life. You know, I was making good money. I was successful. I had a house, like all the, you know, I checked all the boxes for what success supposedly means.
Yeah.
And I just looked up one day and I was like, is this all there is?
Yeah.
Is this really it? And I couldn't understand. Like, I was like, I'm doing everything that they tell me to do to find happiness. And here I am completely unfulfilled. And, you know, you mentioned Tony Robbins. He talks about the difference between achievement and fulfillment.
Yep.
And, you know, I was achieving like nobody's business, but there was not fulfillment. And when I started working with Jaya, you know, one of the things that we talked about is like, this is often the final frontier because it's the edgiest thing because of all this societal taboo and shame around it. This is often the final frontier. This is the last rock that we're willing to look under because it feels so taboo.
Yep.
And the truth of the matter is, at least in my experience, in all of the personal development work that I've done, this has been the most powerful because it's the edgiest.
Yeah.
Because it requires you to get very real and honest with yourself.
It's awesome. I agree with you.
Just really owning who you are and loving and accepting yourself, loving and accepting yourself so much that you are willing to give yourself this much pleasure.
Right.
In the bedroom, outside the bedroom, in your business, doesn't matter. Did you know that business doesn't have to be hard? Did you know that business could be so fun and pleasurable? Did you know that?
Yes. I'm having a blast.
It's all in how you approach it.
Yes.
It's all in how you approach it. It's all in how you engage. And once you understand these concepts and you learn how to implement it in your life, you get to implement it all throughout your life. Mm-hmm. Everything gets to be pleasurable.
I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. So I wanted to keep this short today because I wanted to give everybody just a little tiny bit of what they can expect at Ignite.
Yeah.
So if we leave them with like anything, what do you want a woman to know? Like, what should somebody know going into this or working with you, or what to expect? Like, what's the last thing?
Joy and pleasure are your birthright. You don't have to earn it. It's already here. And we just have to allow that to happen.
Yes.
And using the blueprints, that can inform how you go about life. Again, both inside and outside the bedroom, in your business, the blueprints can inform how we engage with life. And you can create a life dripping with pleasure everywhere.
I love that. Yes. So ladies, we are bringing together a crazy awesome group. One thing I was talking about with Melissa.
Yep. I know Melissa really well. Yeah.
Yes. We were talking about this. I'm like, the speakers we have coming to Ignite are actual coaches. They're not somebody that's like coming that we're like, hey, could you maybe speak for us? They're coaches that are great presenters that are going to actually, you're going to walk away with being like, yes, I had fun. And I learned something that I can implement in my own life. And that's different. Like a lot of times in an event, you're just getting good speakers that are just getting up there, giving you a message. So I'm really excited about this. I'm also, I'm really excited about everybody who's coming. But like I said, this is the one subject that I'm like, I feel like we all need it. I don't care how amazing every other aspect is. Like if this part of your life is just mediocre, then other things are kind of mediocre. Right. Absolutely. And so it shows up for you in all aspects. And I just think that it's like we've talked about is such a taboo subject. Mm-hmm. It's such a taboo, like, oh, you're going to go live. Even going live before I went live with you, I was on the phone. Like, I'm curious where that conversation is going to go. And I'm like, I don't care where it goes. Let's just let it flow. There's no questions, because I just think that it's such a necessary conversation. So it's so grateful.
Key ingredient to fulfillment.
Yeah.
Right? We get, because of the shame and taboo in society, we put our blinders on and we do all the things to be successful in all the other areas. But without this aspect, fulfillment, it's about so much more than just rubbing some genitals together.
Yeah.
You know, it's about relating and connection and passion and intimacy. Like, if you can't tell, I love this subject. I'm gonna be coming with my big guns and giving you all my good juicy stuff. So come join us at Ignite. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, I'm so excited, and I love that you just said that. It's way more than just rubbing some genitals. It's all about everything else that comes with it. So, all right, ladies, I'll put the link below. Our room block actually expires in a week, so if you're on the fence, this is your sign to get your ticket. And Lea, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
Okay. Thank you guys. See you soon in this broadcast.